Controversial California judge rules Visa can be tried as MindGeek's co-conspirator. A controversial California judge ruled on Friday against Visa's request to be dismissed from a lawsuit alleging it conspired with MindGeek, the owner of Pornhub, to profit from CSAM, or child sexual abuse material. Already right off the bat, this is proving what I've been telling you guys for years. The reason I don't fully blame and attack these middleman payment processors for what they do is because they're forced into doing this by the government more often than not. I keep saying the government is holding these middlemen accountable for what their customers do. Hence, the middlemen have to be like fucking fascist as hell with their business dealings to avoid getting in trouble with the government. And this is going to make things infinitely worse. And this is not a problem with the payment processors. This is 100% a problem with the government. The government can't be bothered to do their own job, so they're forcing the payment processors to do it for them. Ideally, they would be impartial middlemen. I want to send money to someone else. I have an account. The other person has an account. That should be all it takes. Oh, okay. You want to send money? Okay, I verified you have the money to send. Got it. The other person now has the money. That's it. But we can't have that because the fucking government keeps getting involved. And the government decides, oh, if RGE pays this other guy and we determine it was money laundering or it was for a crime or something, you're going to be held accountable for it for facilitating the transaction. So now, thanks to the government getting involved, the payment processors have to put all their customers under a microscope, and they're not allowed to just be impartial middlemen, because if they allow money to be moved that ends up being used in a crime, now they're on the hook. Because the government can't be bothered to do their fucking job. And after this, like if this ruling stands, I wouldn't be surprised if payment processors as a whole just stopped doing business completely with certain sectors. So Judge Cormac J. Carney of the U.S. District Court of Central California, a Bush appointee who had to step down from his previous post as chief judge for making a racially insensitive comment about one of his law clerks. Oh, so he's trying to curry favor again with the Tradcucks, huh? So wrote in his opinion that if Visa was aware that there was a substantial amount of child cheese pizza on MindGeek sites, which the court must accept as true at this stage in the proceedings, then it was aware that it was processing and monetizing of cheese pizza, moving money from advertisers to MindGeek, and for advertisements playing alongside cheese pizza like plaintiffs' videos. Now, this part's important because the two biggest sources of cheese pizza on the internet that are publicly available, I mean, the biggest source is the FBI, but the biggest sources that are publicly available are Facebook and Twitter. So are you saying that any financial institutions that work with Facebook and Twitter are now guilty by proxy of enabling and supporting cheese pizza? Oh, wait, no, that doesn't count. Facebook and Twitter pay enough bribe money to the government to be left alone. They have way more cheese pizza on Facebook and Twitter than Pornhub ever had. And yet Pornhub gets burnt at the stake while Facebook and Twitter just get left alone. Instagram is more than Twitter. Well, Instagram is part of Facebook. So Instagram, when I say Facebook, I also mean Instagram. A lawsuit filed on behalf of a Whammons who claims underage images uploaded by third parties were monetized by Pornhub is part of an ongoing campaign and legal action by religiously motivated groups like NCOSE and activists like Layla Mikoate, aiming to shut down MindGeek and online pornography. Yeah, that's all this is. This is an ideological attack. If they really were interested in shutting down cheese pizza, they would go after Facebook and Twitter, like the two biggest sources of it online. But no, instead, they just want a virtue signal and make a stand against a porn site. A judicial warning to the entire payment processing industry. Yep, the government is letting them know. We will hold you accountable for what your customers do. So a newspaper highlighted Carney's statement that when the court couples MindGeek's expansive content removal with allegations that former MindGeek employees have reported a general anxiety the company that Visa might pull the plug. It does not strike the court as fatally speculative to say that Visa, with knowledge of what was being monetized and authority to withhold the means of monetization, bears direct responsibility along with MindGeek for MindGeek's monetization of Cheese Pizza and in turn monetization of plaintiffs' videos. Well, what are you going to blame all the advertisers that advertised on him too then? And then all the people that watched him? You're going to go down the whole fucking chain now? Is that what you guys are going to do? Might have to at this point. Oh man, what's this? Oh, the thoughts hate hentai, so fuck them. Well, the problem is these payment processors are fucking stupid. Like, they're run by out of touch boomers. From talking with Bob, that's one of his biggest hurdles for why he still doesn't have his payment processor set up. He does not deal with thoughts. So Bob has a no thought policy. He doesn't deal with 3D at all because that's where all the problem is. When you deal with 3D, that's when you run the risk of posting cheese pizza. He only deals with drawings. Yet these payment processors, they see adult content, they see 18 plus, and they lump it all in the same fucking bucket. To these idiot boomers, there is no distinction between, 3D porn and a drawing, even though the 3D porn is where all these problems are. So this is going to affect hentai too. The spokesperson for Visa told the lies that company condemns sex trafficking, sexual exploitation, and cheese pizza as repugnant to our values and purpose as a company, none of which are a problem if you only deal with drawings, but they lump all of that the same. So Visa, the Times noted, does not tolerate the use of its network for illegal activity and continues to believe it's improper defendant. Yeah, again, because of the government. If we lived in a perfect world, these middlemen would just be impartial middlemen. But nope, the government enlists them to do their dirty work for them. The plaintiff's attorney, Michael Bowe, told Rupert Murdoch's New York Post that the court's ruling that our detailed complaint adequately pleads Visa was engaged in a criminal conspiracy to monetize cheese pizza means Visa and other credit card companies are finally going to face civil and perhaps criminal consequence of unconscionable and illegal activity. So these trad cuck pieces of shit are going to crack down on the payment processor middlemen again, which is going to lead to these payment processor middlemen to start cracking down on who they're willing to do business with even harder. And here's where the irony comes in. This is going to directly lead to conservative groups being deplatformed by these payment processors because they're going to see, oh shit, we can be held accountable for what our customers do. Well, right now, Republicans are generally viewed as fascist, racist, bigoted, transphobic Nazis, and we definitely don't want to be seen as aiding and abetting in hate speech, do we? And these same trad cucks that were pushing for this, that were celebrating this decision, are going to be crying like the bitches they are when the guns are turned on them, metaphorically speaking, of course. When they are staring down the barrel of a deplatforming, they're suddenly going to be crying about how unfair it is and how you're supposed to just be a middleman. Oh my God, I'm sick of this discrimination. You did this to yourselves, you fucking idiots. The left is already doing this enough, and yet you're helping them. When you attack payment processors for what their customers do, you are feeding into the hands of the left. This is what they want. They want to normalize this. So then when you're labeled as a hate group, the payment processors are going to be too scared to do business with you because they could be held legally liable for financially supporting hate groups. And when your turn comes, you fucking deserve everything you're going to get because you did this to yourselves. So Bo, a former lawyer of Orange Man and disgraced evangelist Jerry Falwell Jr., has appeared alongside anti-porn activist Layla Milquay before Canada's Parliament to demand the shutting and prosecution of all MindGeek sites. Yeah. So it's a Canadian company. That's why they're up there. So a rep for MindGeek gave a following statement to a mainstream trade publication Variety yesterday. At this point in the case, the court has not yet ruled on the veracity of the allegations and is required to assume all the plaintiff's allegations are true and accurate. And when the court can actually consider the facts, we are confident the plaintiff's claims will be dismissed for lack of merit. MindGeek has zero tolerance policy for posting illegal content on its platforms and has instituted the most comprehensive safeguards in user-generated platform history. A lot more comprehensive than Facebook and Twitter, that's for damn sure. We have banned uploads from anyone who has not submitted government-issued ID that passes a third-party verification, eliminated the ability to download free content, so sank their website effectively, actually. Integrated several leading technological platform and content moderation tools, instituted digital fingerprinting of all videos found to be in violation of the non-consensual content and CSAM policies to help protect against removed videos being reposted, expand our moderation workforce and processes, partner with dozens of nonprofit organizations around the world. Any insinuation that MindGeek did not take the elimination of illegal material seriously is categorically false. So we talked about the payment processor side of things, but here at the end, they're also getting into the user-generated content side of things. Because this is going to be the next casualty, user-generated content. If these platforms are going to be held liable for what their users post on them, they're going to stop letting just anyone post things. You're going to need special permission from the site. You're going to need a license. Things are going to get very interesting very soon. And unfortunately, not in a good way. But that's it for that.